On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the infamous relationship of Joker and Harley Quinn. We ain't really got to go into too many details, but we're going to focus on that relationship from the Batman animated series. So stay tuned, keep it locked, ring the bell.
Class is now in session.
All right, class, welcome back to the
Welcome back.
mid-season return.
Welcome back.
We've been gone a month. We've been teasing a return, and we are back indeed.
It's only been a month. Why I feel like it's been longer.
I think it's been a month and some change, actually.
Okay,
At this
maybe
point,
like 5 weeks.
Somewhere around 6, actually, I think.
Okay.
Time of recording, Anyway.
Yeah, time of recording that part.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about Joker and Harley Quinn relationships from the Batman animated series. A lot of you already know that is where Harley Quinn got her start. That is where she was created. But before we get into that, we definitely want to talk about one major announcement that we made over our break that we didn't get to make with you guys. And today is the very first episode of us being a part of the Culture Clash Network.
Yes.
So clap it up for Culture Clash. We are excited. This is going to be an amazing time. Novacaine, what are your thoughts on joining the network?
I'm really excited to see how far we can go with this network. So far, so good. The fellas on the team are all characters in themselves. I'm having a really nice time just being able to connect and create and just getting ready for the future. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for us with the Culture Clash Network.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, what I'm saying? I agree with you. I'm gonna take your statement because this is pretty much how I feel as well. But shout out to the cousins, Powerbomb Jutsu.
Yes, the cousins.
Get your podcast, Marks with Mikes. It's always a blast when we're around you guys. All right, so let's. Oh, by the way, we got some other announcements later in the show, right, Novacaine?
Yeah, we got a couple of little announcements later on in the show.
I'm excited for these announcements. You guys are going to love it. But before we get into all that, do me a favor and head on over to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also, don't forget to head over to Spotify, like and follow us, give us a written review, and also head over to Apple Podcasts, give us a like, follow, and a written review.
Do all those good things over there. Make sure those, if it's a 5-star, if we earned a 5-star, give us a 5-star, and make sure you subscribe because subscribing and liking the videos help us move these things faster.
Yes.
To people. We want to expand a little bit, so you got to help us with that. So we all grew up watching Batman, right? 1989 Batman was a great movie starring Michael Keaton. It was directed by Tim Burton. It was a massive success, right? Within that massive success, Warner Brothers wanted to capitalize and continue. You know how this goes: merchandising, video games, all that good stuff. One of those expansions happens to be Batman, the animated series. It starred Kevin Conroy and
Mark Hamill,
Arlene Sorkin. The show was great. We're not going to talk about the whole show as a whole because we only want to focus on Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship and the manipulation that came from that.
Yes.
You got anything to add before we continue?
Yes. No, actually, I don't have anything to add about that because there's a lot of things I'm going to have to say about this Joker and Harley Quinn relationship once we get into the nitty gritty. But yes, let's talk about it.
If I'm being honest, this is probably like my favorite versions of Joker and Harley Quinn, other than maybe the 1989 movie with Jack Nicholson. I absolutely love his Joker.
Jack Nicholson was not 89.
Yes, 1989. Yeah, that was Jack Nicholson.
That was Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson was the
Oh,
Joker.
Jack Nicholson was the Joker. I'm tripping,
Yeah.
tripping. That's my
Ooh.
bad.
Yeah,
That's
that
that brain.
announcement later. Yeah.
Told you. I told you. You know who I was thinking about? I don't
Ooh,
even know why I mixed these two people up. Freaking Adam West as Batman. I don't even know why I was freaking yes. My brain, listen.
Adam.
That's that
Adam was
brain.
great. Don't get me wrong. Adam was great, but that's a totally different
That's
Batman.
a whole different Batman. Completely different Batman.
But like I said, we're focusing only on Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship today. We're starting with talking about the Joker.
Subject: The Joker, Jack Napier. Comics debut: Batman #1, April of 1940. God dang! Jack Napier is a man of many laughs and many more origins. Starting out as a run of the mill gangster, he would later advance to running his own street gang as the Red Hood. Eventually, he would meet up with his arch nemesis, the Batman. On an outgoing on, on an outing against the Cape Crusader, Jack would run into Ace Chemical Plant, and during a scuffle with Batman, he would fall into a vat of acid. Believed to have met his demise, he would later emerge with white skin, green hair, and a sense of humor to die for. He would then take up the mantle as Gotham's crown prince of crime, the Joker.
Joker has pretty much been a part of the Batman mythos from jump. Created off of the images from the movie The Man Who Laughs. This Joker, in particular, in the first and second season of Batman animated series, is part Jack Nicholson Joker, but the look definitely came from The Man Who Laughs, his original incarnation.
Hmm.
And Mark Hamill absolutely kills this role as the Joker. And he's funny, he's scary, and he's abusive.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that is like all the hallmarks of a good Joker. Because Joker's kind of abusive to everybody, and he's maniacal, and he's criminally insane.
My favorite part of Joker is probably how he just keeps on switching up his origin story. Like none of us know exactly like how he became this maniacal, manipulative, crazy ass man, but we all get to see it unfold. So, um, he's done lied to everybody about his parents, where he grew up, how he grew up, things like that. So I think that's my favorite because he's one of those characters we know a lot of, but we don't know at the same time.
True, and I think that's why I love the Joker as well. I don't know if I have a favorite moment from this show, but I just love the fact that for a cartoon that came out in 1992,
Hmm.
my man was totally unhinged earlier on. Like,
Completely, completely. And he was the obsession with Batman is kind of cute in a sense because it's like, why you love that man so much?
so I think that's the part of the Joker I kind of like. He's like, I'm just so out of my mind that I just do stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you just either have to accept it or you die. Like that's your
Even
only
in
lane.
the
Let's talk about Harley Quinn before.
subject, Harley Quinn, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, debut, Batman animated series number 14, September 11th, 1992. Psychiatrist Dr. Harleen Quinzel got her start working with some of Gotham's most dangerous criminals and psychopaths in Arkham Asylum. She would continue to be a regular citizen until she was assigned Gotham's most infamous criminal, the Joker. He would actually listen to her problems as if he was her doctor. Her curiosities would get the better of her, and she would eventually snap after a major breakout of the asylum. She would quickly become Joker's best ally and lover, quickly becoming his second in command.
You know that I first of all, I absolutely love Harley Quinn.
I
I
like
love her
her too.
name.
Yeah.
Um, Arlene Sorkin plays her, and a lot of people don't know this, but the character pretty much already existed before the character existed as Harley Quinn. Arlene Sorkin was working on Days of Our Lives, and they did like a dream sequence where they were
Mm.
doing like this court thing in the background of like a children's story. They was telling a story to one of their sons. I didn't watch Days of Our Lives in the 80s, okay, people. Anyway, um, so during the story, she comes in dressed like a jester on roller skates. And if you know anything about Harley in the comics,
Mm.
she is a roller derby girl at one point.
Yeah.
The jester costume was always there from pretty much jump when she became Harley Quinn. It's like her first costume. I mean, it kind of made sense. Her name is Harley Quinn, which is a joke the Joker made, only to find out that it was already made 817 times before he even met her. But her personality, how bubbly she is, how she views the world as Harley Quinn, I love like every aspect of this character. What about you? You got anything you love about Harley?
I love that. How, what can I say? What can I love about her? Because I feel like I got like one of those love hate relationships with her because I just want her to leave the Joker alone so bad. Um, but I do like how eventually she was able to open up to the Joker, because I felt like at one point in time she wasn't ever able to talk to someone about how she felt. A lot of people don't know that these therapists and these psychiatrists, psychologists, they do not have a safe space themselves. It's hard for them to have a safe space. So for her to be able to have this safe space, even though he was her patient, that was still a way for her to open up and get that out. It's always good to get it out.
The dynamics of their relationship, I think, for us on the outside looking in, it looks like it's this perfect love, right? Like, oh, they
Mhm.
just love each other. They're gonna ride off in the sunset with each other. Nothing can stop the love of Harley Quinn. It's Bunny and Clyde for New Age, right? But I think from the very beginning, Joker never seen her that way.
Nope.
Like as soon as she hit the door, he knew, okay, I got a Punzi. Like I'm about to run one on her. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to just as soon as she speaks to me, I'm gonna ensnare her and I'm gonna make myself seem so endearing and so interesting that she has no choice but to want to come over. You can see in her eyes when she first walked into Arkham Asylum, it's like I want to get to know everything about everybody in here. And he played on that curiosity really well. But let's pop back. Let's talk about Harlequinade. And first of all, it's like one of my favorite titles out of the series. If you really want to reference the just the meat of their relationship, I think the Laughing Fish, Harley and Ivy, Harlequinade, and Mad Love are the 4 episodes you should watch. Because in the Laughing Fish, that's where we see the first, I want to say the first inklings, but let's say the major inklings of the Joker and the abuse, right? Then there's Harley and Ivy, right? In Harley and Ivy, Harley leaves the Joker because he made her mad, right? And she goes to Ivy. Ivy was doing a break in at the same time she was doing a break in. The police show up. They end up having to ride off together to get away. They turned out to be a pretty good team, and they just became friends from there. Joker told her to leave his place, like he put her out, right? And then he started missing her because she usually always comes back, and he mentions that, like she always comes back, but not this time. Batman finds the hideout. The Joker, Harley calls the Joker because she missed him. He ends up wiretapping the phone of all things. Why the Joker got a wiretap? I don't know. It's the
He's
Joker.
the Joker.
He wiretapped the phone, got the location, and then rode over there. Not to actually really get Harley, but to get all the money and stuff that Harley and Ivy had been collecting. In fact, he kind of dogs Harley out most of this, ties her up, and then just kind of leaves her. So then we fast forward a few episodes. I'm sure there are episodes where they show up together in there. And then we get to Harley Quinn, which is my favorite Harley moment right now because it kind of shows her vulnerability, right? First of all, let's talk about this title because it's threefold on the title. It can mean three things, especially dealing with the episode. One, a bomb, right? So a grenade, a hand grenade, Harley Quinn. I thought that was clever. Two, lemonade. Harley's always turning her terrible situations into something great.
That's what I was thinking, lemonade. But now you got my brain on something else when you said grenade.
And three, serenading, because Harley sings in
Mm-hmm.
this episode. And we're gonna get to that song because oh my god, the song. And that's probably like it is, and I think it was actually true. Like I think she was singing what was actually happening in her life at the
Mm-hmm.
time, right? So Batman needs to find Joker. There's a bomb. So Harley's still locked up. Batman goes to Harley and say, "Hey, if you help me, I can get you out early, dog." And Harley was like, "Why should I help you?" And he was like, "Come on, just help a brother out this one time, and you get out early. You can get out of here. We can roll out together. You get in the Batmobile. You can play with the stuff in the Batmobile." Harley goes, and they end up at these gangsters hideout where they were trying to find information about where Joker got his bum equipment, of course. And Harley starts to sing, and I'm gonna play that song right now.
Mm-hmm.
Romance had ended until you poisoned my food. And I thought it was a lark when you kicked me in the park. But now I think it was rude. I never knew that you and I were finished until that bottle hit my head. Though I tried to be aloof when you pushed me off the roof. I feel our romance is dead. But no, you didn't even scold me. You just tried to disfigure my face. Life used to be so placid. Won't you please put down that acid?
The most depressing song that they could ever put into a children's cartoon.
I
When I was watching
absolutely
it,
agree.
I said, "Babe," I said, "Ain't this a children's cartoon?" He said, "Yep." Every time something happened in these episodes, I just kept on saying, "Isn't this a children's cartoon?" Yep, yep.
So the end of that song, right? She says, "I got pushed. I got hit in the head with a bottle." You know what? All of it. Pausing. Got hit in the head with a bottle. Pushed
Disfigured
off
her
the
face.
roof. Attempted face disfigurement. And I want to hang in there right there because if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not, I watched the 1989 Batman movie a lot. The Joker, Jack Napier, had a girlfriend, and he definitely put acid in her face, if I'm not mistaken. He always was throwing acid on people, and I think he disfigured her face. So later in this episode, we figure out Batman, Harley, they figure out what Joker is, and Harley was ready to switch sides. You know, she was like, I found you. I was looking for you. I'm here now. I love you, Puddin'. Let's finish the Batman, basically. Because Joker was gonna blow up the mayor and the police station and Batman all in one go. And Harley was down until Batman, the secondary manipulator that he is, was like, "But what about your hyenas?" And she, "What about my babies? Puddin', we gotta go get them." And Joker was like, "We ain't got time because the bomb is set for 10 minutes."
Yes.
He's like, "I gotta go all the way to the house, and then we gotta get the safety. It ain't gonna happen." So they had a little scuffle over it. She was like, "What about all our friends?" Because you know she's besties with Poison Ivy. At this point, they're friends with the Mad Hatter and the Penguin, all of that. In
They got
Harley's
a whole
mind,
squad for real.
yeah, like you just gonna let all of them just kick the bucket like that because of a bomb you set off? We gotta save them. We gotta warn them. And Joker was like, "No." So then she kicks Joker, go freeze Batman, and the Joker was like, "All right." bet I'm leaving you. So he jumps in his plane with his goon squad, and then they dip out. Harley is like, hey, I'm having none of that. I'm mad now because you just gonna destroy
leave me.
everybody I love.
Right.
So that means I gotta do something. And this is what Harley does. I'm gonna play the video. All right, so I think this is one of the best moments of the series, right? And I'm gonna let it play, but I just want to give y'all the heads up that the cinema that you're about to witness right now.
Freeze, clown.
Quinn, stop!
He's mine, Bats.
You wouldn't dare. You don't have the guts. Not in a million years would you.
Batman and Robin. As a kid, you don't notice those moments because of the slapstick cartoon. Her face got the freakazoid look. You know, you ain't paying attention to the nuances in this scene, right?
Nope.
If you're just listening, what had happened was Harley throws this gesture bomb thing, not a bomb, but like a grenade projectile at Joker while he's in the plane. She hit him square in the head. He crashes the plane. One of the guns pop off. She picks up the gun. She points at him. Batman looking concerned, like, oh no, don't do it, Harley. And then Harley's like, no, it's got to be done, Batman.
It got to be done, Bats.
This is it. This is my kill right here. This is me. I'm taking over. And then Joker's like, you ain't got the guts. And she was like, oh, bet.
A bet.
She was crying.
That's
she was
my
crying,
gangster.
though. And I think that's the most important part of the scene, though. The fact that she was crying. Like, you can see the emotion. She is confused. She is conflicted. She wants to get away, but she can't. She can't leave.
Nope.
But she feels like if I just pull this trigger right now, then I'm out. Like, it's over. Like, he can't come back from that. But then she pulls the trigger, and it turns out Joker also put fake guns. He put fake guns on his plane. Who does that? Who does that? The Joker does that.
The Joker does it because he, you know, he always have in the back of his head that one of his henchmen is going to turn on him. So that's why he has to have the fake guns.
But then get mad if they fired the wrong gun.
He had the right gun. That's all that mattered. He had the right gun.
I almost took out everybody at the camp with that gun. But yeah, true point. But I love her reaction right there. And his reaction, because if you watch the full scene, because I cut it up for time, you could see the fear in his eyes. But I don't think it was fear of being unalived. I think he knew that the gun wasn't real. But I think it was the fear that his manipulation may have been up. Like, she's at the point where she's like, oh, this is a wrap now. You know? Obviously, that wasn't the case. He still got magic on her right now. But it was a good scene nonetheless. So, after that happened, you know, they get the kiss. They hug it out. Episode ends. We're going to fast forward to Mad Love now, right?
Uh-oh.
And this is probably the wildest episode of Batman the Animated Series. Just before we get into it, what was your reactions watching that one?
Oh my gosh.
Mad Love.
Oh my gosh. Where do I even start? We're just going to have to break down the episode itself for the reactions, because from the jump, from the beginning of the episode, it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like, oh, we getting pure toxic relationship, and it's just like she's just really trying to do her best to please the Joker, and it's just like, golly, he don't love you, girl.
Right. And to take a phrase from Super Novacaine over here, this a kid show.
It's a kid show. This a kid show. The whole episode, I just was like, ain't no way they put this on TV, but it was there.
They absolutely did that. And like I said earlier, like it was one of those episodes that they didn't play twice, so I missed it, and I didn't see it as a kid. This is my first time watching Mad Love, point blank.
When I was a kid, I don't think I remember most episodes with Harley Quinn.
I
But
remember
like
the
I
one.
said, the Batman series wasn't one of those series that as a child, I had to like really be into the show to like remember the details and everything like that. And the Batman, I mean, I caught it if it's on if it was on TV, I'm watching it, but it wasn't like one of those shows that I was like, oh, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
I wasn't waiting for it to air.
So Mad Love opens up with what I would consider a reference to Little Shop of Horror. When Steve Martin's character was the dentist, but he was like a reckless dentist. You see Commissioner Gordon coming in, which is really not important for the synopsis of the episode. I mean, for what we're talking about, but just to set up, Commissioner Gordon was getting some teeth cleaned or something. The Joker was there, held him hostage. Batman showed up. You see Harley and Joker do what Harley and Joker does. You know, Batman wins in the end in this scene. But the main affair was when they went home that night, Harley wanted attention from Joker, which again, by the way, the joke when she came in the nightgown, the granny gown, and she was like, "Do you want to ride your Harley tonight?" Damn, this is a kid show.
This is a kid show. What you talking about, shorty? And she was all bent over. I was like, wait a minute. That thing was stinging. Wait a minute.
Was not expecting it at all.
She was in her lingerie. Wait a minute. You don't want to ride your Harley tonight, ma'am?
I get jokes you slip in, but whoa, that was full force right there.
That was full force. That was full force. Oh my gosh.
So,
but I do like that we got in Mad Love, I do like how we got the origin of how they got together.
Yeah, we're going to get to that, but I want to give a little setup of how we get to that point of Harley telling us how they got together.
Okay.
So Joker is mulling over these plans because nothing he's done has been good enough to take out Batman, right? So he's upset, and Harley's bigging him up in this moment. She's like, Joker, you're like the greatest. You're intelligent. Your plans are great. You could do whatever it is you want to do, which is a positive thing in a relationship. But Joker didn't want to hear none of that noise right now, and he kicked her out into another room. She went flying, face in the dirt. We didn't see the hit, but we know the hit came because every time that happens,
you saw his hand go back, and you saw her on the ground in another room.
Yeah. So after that happened, very much so, loudly actually.
Very loud.
After that conversation happens, she's sad at this point. She's depressed, so she wants to figure out how she can help him. So she gets one of the plans that he spoke of earlier with the piranha not being able to smile. He couldn't make it work. So she sets out and she goes to get Batman for him. But in between that, we start to see how they met.
So we finally get the backstory of how they met. The Joker basically tells her straight up, hey, I'm going to share my secrets with you. And of course, her being like this, trying to be like this up and coming, like top psychiatrist in the asylum. She's like, shoot, if I could get the Joker to crack, why not? So he's telling her this story.
Took her 3 months for him to even get in her room, to get on her couch, for her to get him on the couch, I should say.
That's a whole season, basically. The whole winter time, the whole Christmas, the whole summer, the whole fall, you know? to get on her couch. He finally starts opening up. Of course, as you know, like I said before, most people probably don't know this, but the Joker is just gonna say anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the manipulation game. One part that stuck out to me during this time was when he was talking about his dad being abusive to him. And he said, he was addicted to the grape. When he said that, I said, oh, he was a drunk because
Mm-hmm.
grapes are wine. But you can't say
Yeah.
that in a kid's show.
Given
You could.
given how much violence is in this episode, abuse violence, I can see how they had to be a little bit clever about some of the
Yeah.
verbiage that was using it to please the rating system. They did
Yeah.
great, great
That's all they
job, by
did.
the way.
That's all they had to do was just switch up the verbiage. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because everything else was OC for sure.
After the abuse, because he was like, sometimes he would do stuff and get abused, and then other times it was just cause his dad felt like it. I
Yeah.
don't I don't doubt that's true. Because I think the Joker, what a good manipulator is gonna give you two truths and a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I do think that when he was a child, I do think that he was going through some type of abuse. I do agree to that. Because
yeah,
that's something that has been uh
a
what's the
constant.
word? Yes. It's been constant for a lot of his stories, whether it was his dad or his mom. Maybe it was even a stepdad or a stepmom or a grandparent or whoever. I definitely think that the Joker was abused when he was a child. For sure, for sure. Because how else can he become this maniacal villain?
Time I ever saw Dad really happy. He took me to the circus when I was 7. I still remember the clowns running around, dropping their pants. My old man laughed so hard, I thought he'd bust a gut. So the very next night, I ran out to meet him with his best Sunday pants around my ankles.
I got
Hi,
concerned for a
Dad,
second.
look at me. Zoop! I took a big
Same.
pratfall and tore the crotch clean out of his pants. And then he broke my nose. But hey, that's the downside of comedy. You're always taking shots from folks who just don't get the joke. Like my dad. Or Batman.
So what happens next after that? Joker breaks out of the asylum. You see the
Mm-hmm.
people talking about it. Harley Quinn's running through the asylum. I'm sorry, Dr. Harleen Quinzel is running through the asylum. She's worried about the Joker. And then we see Batman bring the Joker in, crying over him. She should have been fired right there.
Well, she should have been fired right there. Facts.
You know how we always talk about Batman in the hood, how he be busting people up? This is the only time I remember seeing the Joker that's busted up, by the way. But maybe he had calmed down after that. This scene as a whole, her crying over the patient like that, over the Joker at that. If I was over the asylum, I'm booing her right now. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get up out of here, shorty. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Um, Also at this point, this is their friendship becoming closer. You know, he already busted, you should be named Harley, your name's like Harley Quinn, and I done left roses. I've been talking to you, I've been giving you that emotional love. And
Mm-hmm.
to see him like this is very hurtful to see her best friend, because he's like probably the only person, it's alluded to that the only person that actually listened to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the emotional connection, but this is also a part of his manipulation, because the one thing he drove home, because Harley is blaming Batman in the present time about all her and Joker's problems. In this moment, in these conversations, the one constant that he's always talking about, to the point where she wrote it down on her pad, was the Batman, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? He goes, just like my dad, just like Batman, they don't get the joke. They don't understand me. And then he breaks himself out only to be carried back in by Batman. He wanted her to see that. This is on purpose. This is not a this is my theory. They didn't say it. I'm just saying manipulators go a long way to make
They
sure
do.
that you believe the hype that they pouring in on you. This
That's
is
a
on
fact.
purpose.
That's a fact.
You got anything to add to this?
That's just part. The only thing I was going to say about that was that's how much of an evil genius the Joker is. Like, if you ever doubted his skill, just know that this episode itself just shows how much of an evil genius he is.
Let's review for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He knew from jump that Harley was gullible. He knew she was breakable, right?
And he
Go
played
ahead.
on, the whole fact, like I said, a lot of these psychiatrists, a lot of these therapists, psychologists, they don't have that safe space to open up to people. So he played on that.
In her case, she seems like she wanted to fix him. She's seen a broken person and she's like, I can fix him. And that's
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 so
what she's
bad.
getting out of a relationship. Say again.
That's so bad.
It is, but
Because
we know
you know how in real life, that's how people be feeling with other people sometimes. Oh, I could fix him. I could fix her. No, you can't.
and that's exactly in this episode. That was the first thing that clicked for me, other than the fact that he set all this up, was like, dang, she loved him because she can fix him. In her mind, she got all the skills, right? She can fix him. He made her laugh. That's like a trigger for a lot of, I mean, not a trigger, but that's like a thing. Y'all, it's the internet jokes all the time about how a ugly dude can get a pretty girl because he funny,
Because he's
right?
funny. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Um, she believed that he needed nourishment and love as a kid, and she thinks Batman is the issue that's perpetuating whatever it is that Joker's got going on in his mind. Like if Batman ain't there, then the Joker will be fine. He'd just be Jack Napier, the Red Hood gangster. That's the part that she missed, but okay.
Exactly.
Joker gets hurt. She makes up in her mind that she's gonna be his Harley Quinn. So she goes to the joke store, grab a costume, grab some gadgets, and busts him out. And also, she
Wow.
busted him out of Arkham Asylum with a bunch of toys. That is dedication.
Wow. That's wild.
A bunch of toys. Like, what is up with security these days?
Well, that was those days, so
Touche. So then,
hopefully it's not that bad anymore.
I hope so.
Ho-
So then,
hopefully.
so then, Joker. We fast forward back to the present. She's already got Batman. She got him hanging upside down over a vat of piranha. She's going to execute Joker's plan, right? She's talking to Batman back and forth about the piranha. She was like, yeah, the Joker couldn't make her smile, but I did. They're upside down. And Batman's like, ain't your point, if you don't get me down from here. So eventually the conversation leads to you're in over your head in a sense. And I got the clip for that too. And I think this is Batman's keen observation skills picks up on just how manipulated Harley Quinn is and how easy it is to manipulate her.
Poor baby.
The Joker doesn't love anything except himself. Wake up, Harleen. He had you pegged for a hired help the minute you walked into Arkham.
Facts.
That's not... No. No! He told me things, secret things he never told anyone.
Was it his line about the abusive father? Or the one about the runaway mom? He's gained a lot of sympathy with that one.
Stop it! You're making me confused!
Was it he told that one parole officer? Oh, yes. There was only one time I ever saw Dad really happy. He took me to the ice show when I was 7.
Circus. He said it was the circus.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest with you. that part hurt me after I done watched it like 7 times for this episode. I was like, why he doing Harley like that? She was just trying to be loved. Like legit, the emotion that they pour out of that one moment, out of that one exchange between Batman and Harley. And it's like, Batman was just being Batman in that moment because prior to that, he started doing this really loud fake laugh that kind of freaked her out to throw her off her game. And I thought that was an eye-opening moment for Harley. Even though she didn't want to fall for it, she still wanted to hold on to the hope that the Joker loved her. But that was the first moment, I think, not the first moment, but that last moment before you leave your abuser. Like, I felt like that's what they were getting at in that scene. Well,
You're just in time to see the.
There it is.
Batman was like, "Ooh."
I don't understand. Don't you want to finally get rid of Batman?
Only if I do it, idiot.
But it's still your plan, see? Everything just like you said. Except I hung the guy upside down so he'd see their little frowns as little smiles.
Except you had to explain it to me. If you have to explain a joke, there is no joke.
Now, calm down, Puddin'.
You've forgotten what I told you a long time ago. One of the painful truths of comedy. You always take shots from folks who just don't get the joke.
Throw her ass out the window. He smacked the shit out of her.
He really did, man. And
pushed her out the window. That looked like that's about, what, 3-4 stories high?
yeah, I mean, if you look at her at the end of the episode, which was a masterful plan, by the way. So after that, we don't see Harley again. Batman and Joker fights, and Batman throws him into a smokestack.
Yeah.
From a moving train, by the way.
Yes.
And in my mind, I was like, Batman got to be the greatest beer pong player of all time. Ain't no way.
What was the odds of him hitting him into the smokestack? That's the part that tripped me out too.
Right. So at this point, we think Joker is deceased. He's up out of here for life. And we go to the asylum and we see Harley Quinn broken up, busted up, arm in a sling, head wrapped up. And the last thing she says is, I finally see that slime for what he is. A murderous, manipulative, irredeemable. And then she looks over to her left and sees that flower that said, get well soon. And then everything that she was angry about just went away, and she calls the Joker her angel. And that was the last scene of the whole series.
Yeah.
Which, if we're being honest, for a lot of people, they can't leave their abuser. They can't find a way to get away. And they physically can get away.
Yeah.
But mentally, it is a very difficult task. You have someone that, like the Joker, degrades you and shows you a form of love that's really more akin to hate, but they dress it up really well. They dog you out. They talk about your clothes. They talk about your smile. They talk about how unattractive you are. They talk about how you can't do anything without them, how you can't make it without them. They'll put you out, then they'll come find you. Yeah. Like, that's the type of stuff that Harley Quinn was going through. And you see the jokes, you see the laughs, but in this series, you can't get past that. But deep down, the message was, abuse is abusive. You have to get away, but sometimes you can't.
So this is why I always say that I hate that people try to glorify the relationship between Harley Quinn and Joker, because it was never a healthy relationship. Like, everybody always want to do these couples costumes of Harley Quinn and Joker, or make these tweets about, oh, he's my Joker to my Harley Quinn. And I'm just like, is everything okay? Like, do I have to call the people for you? should I call the people for you? Do you want me to call the people for you? Like,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
it's just a very toxic, extremely toxic. And as you can, like you said, at the very end of the episode, she is wrapped up like a mummy. That's how beat up she is. They had to push her in that daggone wheelchair. She's calling him all of these names and then call him her angel. Like, huh?
And it goes back to the conversation with Batman too, because Batman was like, you know, he don't love you, he'll never love you. And what did Harley say when she started to tear up? Like, I'm confused.
I'm
You're
confused.
confusing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so outside of everything, it is very heartbreaking. And even now, like I said, I watched this like 3-4 times in the past day or two, and it can be, it's heavy at this point because I'm not watching the slapstick
Yeah.
anymore. I'm just watching for the trauma
Context.
and the pain.
Yeah.
And that is a heavy subject, and I have to kind of give it to the animators and the creators and the directors for them to hide that, Bruce Timm and his team, for them to hide those nuggets within the show. And then at the end of it, it's like, oh, we getting canceled, let's go balls to the wall. Then let's really put it out there for people to see what just how abuse really looks. Because
Right.
outside of the comics and outside the jokes, that's what abuse looks like.
It sure does.
It's making excuses for that person.
Yep.
It's losing
Oh,
everything you built. He broke her. Everything she worked for, everything she wanted to do in her life, he turned that against. He
yep.
broke all that. She was no longer that person anymore.
Nope.
I'm done. That's all I had to say. I don't want to talk about him no more.
It's gonna make me emotional.
Oh, don't get emotional on me.
Because you already know, and I know I've said it on the show a few times before, whether it was this one, whether while we've been society and pop culture or the BK Space show, how I had to go through my own struggles with a domestic violence relationship and being manipulated and even having that false hope of, oh, it'll get better, oh, he loves me, I love him type thing. And it never will, unfortunately, because that's just not for you. That relationship just not for you, especially when it's two people that don't want to be better. Like the Joker straight up told her, like, what makes you think that was going to make me feel better or love you more because you got rid of Batman? I'm supposed to get rid of Batman. That's my job.
His real lover is Batman.
His real love is for Batman. That's what I'm saying.
That's
That's why I said at the beginning of this episode how it's kind of cute because it's like he kind of got some gay love for Batman a little bit. But nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever talks about that. That's his one true love is Batman.
And in some weird sense of life, I think it's vice versa. You know, because let's just be real here. We always had this conversation about Batman not putting away the Joker, but
I feel like he could. He has a lot of different opportunities too.
He can just, I don't know, put some. Never mind. We're not going to do that. I have this article that we found. We have this article, I should say, and it's 3 reasons people become manipulative with psychologytoday.com. Y'all know we like Psychology Today. We've been quoting them since the last iteration of this show. It was posted in 2019 from Preston Nee. I want to say that's it. He's an MSBA. It was reviewed by Gary Dravich. So, psychological manipulation can be defined as the utilization of undue power. In parentheses, it says social, relational, familial, sexual, financial, professional, etc., for the purpose of benefiting the manipulator at the expense of their victims. Willful psychological manipulation is different than healthy social influence, in which there's a general equitable exchange between individuals. And I think that's important to know in a social influence, healthy social influence.
Mm-hmm.
There's an exchange in views and love. Like, I love you, you love me. I do for you, you do for me. We have a mutual friendship together, like that type of thing. In manipulative relationship, one person exploits another for selfish and unscrupulous gain. Um, why do manipulators manipulate? Chronic manipulation is often used as a survival mechanism to cope with a challenging or competitive environment, especially when one lacks relative power and control.
Oh wow.
Pathological manipulation may also be the result of family, social, societal, or professional conditioning. Now, I don't know if you remember a second ago, Novocaine, where you just said, well, we was talking about the Joker um parents that we both believe that the Joker may have been abused
Mm-hmm.
in the past. Like, we believe that was true. And
Yes.
I think that kind of explains them a little bit. Like,
Yes.
you're in an abuse situation, you feel powerless. And
Yep.
so
You
you
surely
need
do. You need to
and
have some type of power.
yeah, so when you grow up and you get to a point where you can do things, you exert your will on other people.
It's just like a
Um
bully. Like if you getting beat down at home, you go bully the kids at school.
the article goes on to say, with this in mind, consider the following three possible causes. Family history. Was
Mm-hmm.
the individual in question influenced by certain manipulative family members in his or her life? B, did the individual experience any social weaknesses and or disadvantages during her or his formative years? Did she
What?
experience exclusion in any way, socially, economically, culturally, professionally, and wanted to become part of the accepted norm?
Well,
I feel like with the Joker again, and with Harley, actually, there's a sense of wanting to belong to in places you don't, or in places people don't want you. Like Joker, Batman doesn't want to be friends with Joker, but all Joker wants to do is make Batman laugh for the most part, like in his
mm-hmm.
weird way, right? And Harley, all she wants to do is be accepted by the Joker 100% wholeheartedly. But in this exchange between the Joker and Harley, this is what Joker set up. Like, this is Joker started this for her. He wanted her to be dependent on him, and then she became dependent on him, and then he tried to push her away.
Yep.
Um, but not really. Only pushing her away because he knew she was gonna come back because he had her trained in his
He
mind.
had her trained like sort of like a pet in a sense.
Yeah, that sucks to say out loud, but it's true.
He was.
See,
That's exactly how it was. Unfortunately.
yeah. C, were there any social, professional, or societal norms which encouraged cunning, scheming, bargaining, haggling, exploiting human weaknesses, divisive, Machiavellian ruthlessness,
Mm-hmm.
or other forms of indirect influence and power?
Mm.
Wow, that's a lot. First of all, that was a mouthful to read. Um, For example, some professions lend themselves much more to persuading people than others. Some societies normalize competition, bargaining in business and social interactions, while others do not. Certain affiliated groups have a stated purpose of convincing others to see things from their vantage point. If any individual was strongly exposed to any of these influences, he or she may have internalized certain manipulative tactics in behavior norms. Obviously, again, the people at Warner Brothers that was working on Batman animated series really hit this on the head with the Joker because he is all of those things. Like
Yeah.
it's almost it's
Like
comically so at this
it's
point,
like which one came first? The definition of manipulation or the Joker character at this point?
right? Because man, everything I ever read about the Joker feels like this. Every book, my man, when I tell you he can manipulate a situation into his favor, case in point, the man is never in Arkham as long as he needs to. He can off
Never.
half the city, pause in the water, blow up some stuff, and my man is out 5 minutes later. It even comes to Arthur Fleck version of the Joker, like in the movie.
Who's that?
That's the Joker from the new movie, Arthur Fleck. That's the comedian Joker from the Joker movie recently. You know, the one that's going to come back with the sequel with Harley Quinn.
No, that's Joaquin Phoenix that's playing that.
No, Arthur Fleck is the name of the Joker. In that.
Oh yeah, the name of the Joker. Yes.
Yeah. So even when you come back to that version of the Joker or the Arthur Fleck version, you see that his life wasn't great. He was kind of walked all over. Yeah. People overlooked him. They didn't want him around for real. And then he snapped.
I felt so bad. Man. I felt so bad for him. That's when I actually felt some type of empathy for the Joker character.
Yeah. Because you definitely don't feel none of that for the comic book version. So
no.
In conclusion, manipulation, often starting out as a survival or competitive instinct for self-preservation, becomes a pathological act of exploitation and, in the worst case, abuse. I hope you guys enjoyed that part of the episode. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you learned something from it. And if you are in an abusive relationship, please seek help, because you can get away. You are strong enough to get away.
Yes, you are. And it could be anybody. It could be emotional, physical, mental abuse. It does not equal love.
It does not. So we got to switch gears real fast. Okay, we're gonna do the playlist real quick, and I'm gonna pop it off because I got a song that's really terrible in this moment, given the fact of what just happened to Harley at the end of that episode. But no one man can have all that power. Power by Kanye West.
There it is. That's the one.
Like number one on the list. Power by Kanye West.
That's the one.
I hate that the window was even involved, but yeah.
There it is.
What you got next? What you got on it?
I was thinking Love on the Brain by Rihanna.
Okay. Riri got Love on the Brain.
That got me feeling this way. It beats me, Black and Blue, but it me so good. Every time I hear that part, yeah. Every time I hear that part, I was like, golly, girl. Beating you Black and Blue, but it's making you feel so good. Like, that's toxic.
The Indie Club, the homies, Black and Blue.
Yes, indeed. That's a good one.
Because that song right there is such an emotional song. And they put so much of themselves in that song. First of all, check out all their new music because they've been dropping music like left and right. But also check out Black and Blue for this playlist. Yes.
This song is actually kind of upbeat, but it's still kind of toxic. Hot and Cold by Katy Perry.
Okay. We got a little Katy Perry up in here.
Hot and you're cold. You're yes and then you know. You're in and you're out. You're up and you're down. You're wrong when it's right. And I forgot the rest of the lyrics.
Britney Spears, Toxic.
Of course.
I don't even know how we didn't even get to that one just yet.
Of course, that should have been number 1 on the playlist right there.
So we got 5 songs: Kanye West Power, Riri Love on the Brain, The Indie Club, Black and Blue, Katy Perry, Hot and Cold, Britney Spears, Toxic. Do you
I'm here
have
for it.
one more to round out, or is that how we stop in the playlist?
Oh, Superman.
Okay.
I'll pick Superman for sure. I can be your
Eminem got
Superman.
love on the show
I
for
can be
me.
your Superman. You're Superman. You're Superman. Don't get me wrong. I love these. I like that part. I ain't gonna lie.
Khalees, I hate you so much right now.
Yes. Yes.
All right, I think that's 7
Oh,
songs.
I got honorable mention. I do have an honorable mention.
No, we can just round it out with 8.
Oh, I was gonna say CeeLo. Forget You.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a good list. CeeLo got some other bangers that could definitely go on his list because my man be on some necrophiliac crazy songs sometimes. My man be wild and oh gosh. All right. 1, Kanye West Power. 2, Riri Love on the Brain. 3, The Indie Club, Black and Blue. 4, Katy Perry, Hot and Cold. 5, Britney Spears, Toxic. 6, Eminem, Superman. 7, Khalees, I Hate You So Much Right Now. And 8, CeeLo, Forget You.
That's the one.
All right. This is the Harley Quinn and Joker's playlist.
Yes.
All right. So, Novacaine, you got some announcements before we end this show that I can't wait for you to spill because I am so excited for both of these.
For both of them. Okay, so if you follow me on either Instagram or Facebook, I'm pretty sure you already know these announcements because I just could not. I'm not going to say hide it, but I try my best to just be as private as possible. So number 1, my honey and I finally tied the knot after all these years. Oh my gosh. As a married now.
Clap it up for the newlyweds.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. Congratulations.
Thank you. A lot of people keep on asking me, like, how do I feel? And I'm just like, what do you mean? And they're like, you feeling different? And I'm like, no, we just went to sign a paper. Like, I don't feel any type of difference. Like, I know our love is real. I know our love is good. He not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Why not tie the knot? And honestly, we could have did this years ago, but your girl kind of hard-headed. She kind of emotional. She kind of wild, super wild.
So from a person that's been married for like 14 years now, you're gonna learn so much about each other. I'm not saying it changes the dynamic for real. It's more than a piece of paper if you do it right.
It's more than a piece of paper.
And I'm excited to see how you guys grow now that you're in this next step of your relationship because you guys have been together a long time. Y'all been together
a long time.
A minute.
I think things are going. I'm gonna feel a different and a shift in things when we start handling business together. I think that's when I'm gonna start feeling different. But we haven't really done anything much. Like, I mean, okay, so let me go into my second announcement because the second announcement is gonna tie into how the things that I did feel different about. So, again, if you have been living under a rock and you don't follow me on social media or you're not one of my close friends, you would not know, but I am currently with child.
I'm about to be uncle.
For a very long time, I kept on saying, I'm not going to be a mom. And for a hot second, for a long time after that, I didn't even think I could be a mom. But, God and the universe has different plans. And this is the year that, I knew that it was going to happen eventually, honestly, because it was gonna happen, honestly. But um right now in life, I was just really shocked. I'm really, really excited. It's going to be a little baby girl. Um, I am currently 6 months, 24 weeks, and a couple of days. By the time this episode drop, I'll be 6 months in a week. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I can't believe how much time has gone past since I first found out. When I first found out, I sent BK the daggone picture of the daggone pregnancy test.
Look, listen, your boy was like, "You for real though?"
Who this for?
Because you be trolling. I was like,
I do be trolling. And a lot of, honestly, I even left little breadcrumbs on social media about my pregnancy
I saw them.
before I did my official announcement. And like, because I do be trolling. Like, it's fun to troll, honestly. Like, it's too much. Too many people don't think for themselves on social media. Too many people are complaining on social media. So I like to get on there and troll sometimes. A lot of the time.
Yeah. Look, I am excited. I can't wait to see my little Nova Light hit this
Nova
earth.
Light. They keep on tripping me out every time you say it.
Oh no, that is the official nickname
It's
for me.
official. It's official.
I am super excited.
So
I wish I would have had a chance to get up there to see you when we was on vacation, but we didn't get a chance to come that way.
no, but by the time the baby shower, hopefully, prayerfully, you could get here. Prayerfully. If not, I already know love and the vibes are always there, and we could always take a family trip next year. So
Facts.
we got time.
We're going to Disney World.
Okay. Okay. Shoot. At least one of them Carol wins something. But during the beginning, and honestly even now, that's why I'm not on camera today. I am having a few little complications, but the baby is doing amazing. And I had to like pretty much leave my 9 to 5. And I think that was probably the main thing I had to adjust to with my marriage, is allowing my man to be the man. Like I've always been super independent and wanting to make my own money and doing this and doing that. But that's what a partnership is for. Is like, you both can put in the 100% all the time, but sometimes one person has to take up, whatever's happening. I see it all the time on IG. Like, they both put on 100%. What if one person gets sick? Somebody got to pick up the slack. So I'm just really blessed and grateful to have a man that is very supportive and being a man, being a husband. I'm extremely, extremely blessed, grateful, thankful. Every day I just wake up and I feel like I fall in love with him even deeper.
Oh.
So that's probably the only thing that's a difference so far.
We need to get that sitcom. Oh.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We need a whole little sound, little sound pad with the claps, the ahs.
All that. But before we end this episode, I just want to say that I am proud of you. I am happy for you both. I am very excited to see how your family grows next. And your boy here for you when you need me.
Yes, always, BK. We family, man.
Absolutely.
Family, like a giant tree reaching up to the sky. You know where that's from, don't you?
No,
that's
I do
from
not.
Dreamgirls.
Oh, that's why.
That's why you don't.
The only song I know from Dreamgirl.
And I'm telling you.
And I am telling you.
Well, that was like the main song. Like, if a person could sing, they were singing that or a Whitney Houston song on Showtime at the Apollo. Those two songs, those were like the two go-to songs that people would sing on Showtime at Apollo. So of course you know that song, and that song is in the original Dreamgirls.
Also, that one song with Eddie Murphy. What
Which
was he
one?
saying? It was
Step
like
into the
Jimmy.
bad side. Oh, Jimmy got soul.
Yeah, that one.
All right. You're a mess. You're a mess.
All
Cut
right,
it.
we got it. We got to end this. I want to thank everybody for coming through with us. Welcome back to the new season. We're gonna have great shows. We're gonna have fun this season. Um, Novocaine, let them know what they need to do for us.
Head on over to Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating. You know we deserve it. A written review. Like, follow, subscribe. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and do the same for us. Leave us that written review, 5-star rating. Like, follow, and subscribe.
Absolutely, and shout out to Culture Clash Network. We're
Yes.
gonna grow. We're gonna make this thing a thing. All right. So go over to Facebook and Twitter and follow the Culture Clash Network. And you can go to the website right now at www.thecultureclashnetwork.com to learn about our show and all our brother sister shows that's over there as well. We love you guys. I have been Instructor BK.
I am Instructor Novacaine.
And we up out, man. Thanks for listening.
See you.